Today I'm going to make a apple spice cake. My grandson is over and he wants some cake, so I'm going to make it for him. I found this recipe a good while ago. I think the name is, let me look. It's from a website called The Pretty Bee, and that's the author. And I changed it up a little bit, but it's still very good. Here's my grandson that's wanting this cake. So I gotta get started. This is just an apple, and I'm gonna peel it, and then I'm gonna grate it, and we're gonna start it in this bowl here. So I'll fast forward through this part. Start with putting the shredded apple into the bowl. I'll set this aside and wash my hands. All right, so then we're gonna have 3 tablespoons of unsweetened applesauce. Right, and then it calls for 3/8 of a cup. Well, there's not a measuring cup that I know of that has the measurement 3/8. So 4/8 would be a half a cup. So a little between a third and a half a cup of water. Now I use extra virgin olive oil. It calls for canola oil, but I just don't use canola oil, so I'm going to do extra virgin olive oil, 1/3 cup. And this is the measuring cup that you can look at it from the top and see without having to bend down. This. And then a teaspoon of vanilla, and our little trick with the teaspoon is we know that the lid is a teaspoon worth of vanilla. So that's what I use, my grandmother used, so gotta carry on the tradition. Now at this point it says to add white vinegar, but I'm going to add my flavored vinegar. It is white, but it's Gravenstein Apple flavor. So it's the apple spice cake. Use an apple flavored vinegar. And this is one of my favorite flavors of the vinegar. I like to make it in a salad dressing. I use this with Persian lime olive oil and a little bit of the garlic olive oil, and I mix it together with a little bit of Dijon mustard, salt and pepper, and it's fabulous. I absolutely love it for a dressing. Alright, so that's our liquid ingredients, and I'm going to stir that together. All of our liquid ingredients and the apple stirred together. It's going to make our cake really nice and moist. Okay, so now this one actually has some refined sugar, but it only has half a cup. A half a cup of refined sugar and a half a cup of coconut sugar. All right, half a cup of sugar. And a half a cup of coconut sugar. If you don't have coconut sugar and you want to use brown sugar, you can do that here too. All right, now I have a gluten-free flour. Any gluten-free flour. I use different kinds many times, but just a regular gluten-free flour that you replace cup for cup. It's not any special type, like I have cassava flour, I have several almond flour, coconut flour, rice flour. I have all of those, but this is just a substitute for regular flour that you can buy. It just says on here, gluten-free flour, measure for measure. So that's what this is, and I need 2 cups. Well, let me stir this around before I start adding the flour. So let me get the sugar all stirred in.
Why do you always do this? Why do you always do this in the mirror when you cook it?
Because I'm trying to put it on my channel.
I can only do this.
Let me do this. You want to show them you're Mr. Incredible today? So he's dressed up as Mr. Incredible. Ugh! See? Show your muscles. Yeah! You can tell it's getting close to Halloween, so everybody wants their...
We're almost to Halloween.
Almost to Halloween. He loves to wear his costumes.
2 more things and then bam.
Bam! And we're ready, huh?
Halloween.
Alright, so now let's get these 2 cups going. I like to kind of aerate the flour. I don't go as far as to, shift it. So, I just kind of spoon it in and stir it up a little bit. Sift it. I don't go as far as to sift it. My grandmother would when she made her homemade cakes. I would see her. She had a sifter with a crank on the side that she turned, and that's how she always made hers. But I'm busy. Mother and grandmother, so I learned to just kind of do shortcuts. I may run out. Hopefully I have enough, but if not, I'll use some of my other flour to finish it off. All right, there's 1 cup. I'm gonna make a trip to the grocery store to get some more. I don't know if you hear it in the background, but my grandson is watching a movie, kids movie. Okay. I'm gonna have enough, thank goodness. I was worried I wouldn't have enough, but it looks like I'm going to. Yep, that's about it. All right. Got a mess. Let me clean up. All right, and we have 1 teaspoon of, wrong thing, baking soda. One teaspoon. And then I have a half teaspoon of baking powder. A half a teaspoon of sea salt. I have a 1/4 of a teaspoon of nutmeg. and a fourth teaspoon of cinnamon. Here's a fourth. Here's the teaspoon. And last but not least, a half a teaspoon of ginger. Okay. Now I'm just going to stir this together. I don't need a mixer or anything like that. I'm just going to blend all these ingredients together with a spoon. Now, doesn't take very long. Once you just get everything incorporated, just give it a good little stir. Okay, now I have it's not an 8x8, but it's 9x7 or something like that, but it's about the same. So a baking dish that I've sprayed with coconut oil. And we're just going to pour it in. Now I have an oven heating at 350. The temperature the time on the recipe calls for like right around 30 minutes, 28 to 32. I think that was it. But I find that it's not done. It's not done by that time. So I need to cook. I cook it a little longer. It may just be my oven. So you might want to check yours at 32 because I don't know if it's just my oven or if I think that the cake needs to cook a little bit longer. I'm going to pop it in the oven and I'm going to set a timer for 40 minutes. I want to make sure it's really nice and finished, but I will test it with a toothpick before I bring it out. All right, I'll be back when it's ready. Here it is, spice apple cake, gluten-free, dairy-free. It's really... How is it?
Good.
Look at me. You like it? Yeah? You glad I made it?
I like it.
All right. My grandson could not wait until it cooled off. So there's no powdered sugar sprinkled on the top, which is what I would normally do, but it's still warm, so you can't do that. But it's still good. It's good. It's got good flavor. It's not too sweet. A little powdered sugar on top actually would be really good because it's not too sweet, but it's still sweet enough and to call it a cake. But there you go. Spice apple cake, dairy-free, gluten-free. If you like, please subscribe below. That'll help me a lot. Thank you.